All right, I'm gonna yell at you because you're making two huge mistakes, and I need you to not
That's
make any
okay.
of these mistakes anymore. Okay? The first mistake you're making is you're waiting for confidence to arrive before you take action. And you're forgetting that confidence comes from the lessons you learn as a result of taking action. So that's mistake number one. Welcome to Therapy Checkup, where we dive deep into your mental health practice and see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm your host, Elliott.
Hi, my name's Karen Marley. I am actually a nurse practitioner, and I am in Florida, Central Florida, not too far from Daytona. My practice actually revolves around equine facilitated coaching and equine facilitated learning and nurse life coaching.
Excellent. Well, Karen, welcome to the show.
Hi, great to be here.
All right. What are you best hope from talking with me?
I have two actually that I kind of would like to address today. Number one would be maybe to get some of your insights on how to best incorporate solution-focused brief therapy into my very specific practice. And if we can get through that, which I'm sure we can, I would also like to maybe try and focus my avatar down a little bit.
Okay.
Let's start with combining solution-focused brief therapy into my practice because
Okay.
I'm
Can
a
you tell me
little
about
bit.
your practice?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a little different than probably the typical client that you see or the typical therapist, as I am not a therapist. I am actually a nurse practitioner,
Okay.
and I have a certification as a nurse life coach, just like you can go and get a certification to be, say, a critical care certified nurse or a wound care certified nurse. You can actually get a certification to be a life coach as a nurse. So I have that. I am also certified as an equine-assisted learning facilitator, and I am also certified in what they call horse medicine. So I am taking and blending all of that together to start a very hopefully beneficial practice. I have been doing a more team building with the equine assisted learning, but my hope is to lean more into the coaching aspect and serve. Right now I'm leaning towards serving and doing so, serving first responders, nurses, police officers, people that are in those super high stress, high burnout certifications, and kind of help them overcome and or cope with stress.
I love that. So, Karen, if you woke up so you have all these certifications, life coach, nurse. If you woke up tomorrow with a solution focused brief therapy certification, what would you do?
Jump for joy first. 'Cause that's really cool. If I were to focus on the SFBT aspect, I would definitely open an office. So I had an indoor outdoor space to meet with clients.
Okay.
And I would definitely lean into that coaching aspect of my practice.
Okay. And how would you talk to your clients? What would be different in the way you interact with your clients? Because you do currently have a coaching certification, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So the only thing that would be missing is like the certification, knowledge, experience, confidence, etc. in solution focused brief therapy. So if you woke up tomorrow and you had all those things, how would you interact with your clients?
Clearly more confidently. Um, yeah, I would definitely feel like I had a much better framework, if you will, to coach.
Okay. How would that help you?
Personally, I feel like it would give me more, like I said, more confidence, and I would feel like I would be able to add more value to each session for my clients, and hopefully for them as well. I would have that framework. I would have that ability to be better at offering them the next step and offering them, I won't want to say solutions, but offering them, I guess, better insight as to how they can.
Have you ever done a solution-focused session?
I have toyed with it. Again, I'm super, super new with it. When I got my nurse coaching certification, I very inadvertently stumbled on SFBT through actually Hay House.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was really awesome because SFBT pretty much presents that framework for nurse coaching. We want to not be diagnostic. We want to be solution oriented. We want to focus on the future. And I was struggling with, okay, how do I do that? And I learned about SFBT and started faithfully watching and learning, and you know, I've read the Diamond book, actually, in your most recent book. And I'm doing my best to incorporate SFBT into sessions. And it just, again, I know I need more practice, but it's just a gem, because it does provide questions and thought-provoking scenarios for patients.
Well, Karen.
Every now and then the nurse comes out in me and says patients instead of clients. Sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. You can say patients all you want. All right, I'm going to yell at you because you're making two huge mistakes, and I need you to not
That's
make any
okay.
of these mistakes anymore, okay? The first mistake you're making is you're waiting for confidence to arrive before you take action. And you're forgetting that confidence comes from the lessons you learn as a result of taking action. So that's mistake number one. And mistake number two is you haven't committed yet, and you have to commit. And here, let me give you an example. When behind you, there are horses, correct? Do I see horses behind you? Are they your
Yes,
horses?
they are mine.
Have you ever ridden them?
Yes, fairly
How
regularly.
pretty regularly do you ride them?
Usually, well, when it's not swelteringly hot, I ride at least twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay. Now, Karen, I've only been on a horse twice in my entire life. They scare the shit out of me. Like, they're like big, huge dinosaurs on thin legs to me. If I got on that horse, and here's another question I have for you actually before I even use that example. Have you ever fallen off?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Karen, I want you to treat solution focused brief therapy the same way you treat riding a horse. If I got on your horse, I would be very, very scared. And that's just the honest truth. I
Mm-hmm.
love animals, by the way.
Oh, sure,
But
sure.
but the size of a horse is very scary to me. And if I were to get on that horse and I said, Karen, I'm so nervous, you would reassure me probably to get me onto the horse. And if while climbing on the horse took a few steps and I fell off, wouldn't you want me to immediately get back on the horse?
At your comfort level, yes.
Right. Because I have to be committed to mastering horseback riding if I want to have any shot of
Mm-hmm.
being a proper horse rider. And confidence comes from just spending hours and hours riding a horse. That's where confidence comes from. And I'm going to tell you probably the coolest thing that ever happened for me with a horse. I was in South Africa on a safari. And this particular safari, you drive through the safari in a Land Rover. But they also had the option that you could take a horse through the safari, which was wonderful because the horse can get closer to certain animals than the vehicle could. So literally, the horse can go into the herd of zebra or into the herd of wildebeest or into the bush in a way that the vehicle couldn't. So I'm so nervous to be on this horse. I'm so nervous. And the person at the game reserve just reassured me and said, this horse does this all the time. You're not too heavy for the horse. He's not going to run. Just trust the horse. So I got on the horse, and I noticed the horse started doing something, Karen, very unusual while I was on the horse. And what the horse would do as we were riding through the bush, there would be trees that would, like, the branches would be in line to hit me, but the horse would go around them. So even though the tree branches were in line to hit me, but they weren't in line to hit the horse, I was sitting up higher than the horse. So the horse could have just walked straight under it, and the horse was under no threat of being hit by these branches, but I was. So the horse would veer away. So I said to the ranger, I said, why is the horse doing that? And the guy said to me, a horse is a very empathetic animal. It's taking care of you. It knows that you might be hit by these branches, so it's moving so you don't get hit by the branches, even though it also knows the horse could walk underneath the branches and be perfectly fine. And I was so moved by that. And the only way I could have learned that was by getting on the horse. And that was a lesson I learned on one ride on a horse. What would I learn on 100 rides, on 1,000 rides? Like, that's how I want you to treat solution focus. Like, I'm gonna commit to doing this. And am I gonna fall off of the solution focused horse? Sure I am. But I'm gonna get back on it so I can learn the valuable lessons that come along the way.
Agreed. 100%. And I guess the other part of that is I'm in a bit of a different community, so I don't have anyone to critique me during a session on, you did this right, you did this wrong, this would be better, this would be worse. And maybe I just, I need to commit as well to going into the next level of SFBT. I do have several of your courses, but I haven't joined the actual certification course, but I have several of the others from early on.
Well, I think you should commit and do whatever to you feels like commitment, like that desire to get better at it, which you must have had that desire to get better as a horse rider, or you wouldn't be someone that can do it twice a week and own horses and, all the things that come along with that.
Right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's literally all you have to do is stop waiting for confidence, because confidence comes along the journey,
Right.
and fully commit. I'm going to get good at this.
What's the old saying? Substitute courage for confidence in the beginning.
Yes, that's true. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Because if I came to live with you down there in sweltering hot Florida, and I was like, I want to become the best horse rider I can possibly be, I don't need confidence in the beginning. I need courage, because courage allows me to take action. And then before you know it, X number of months in or years in, you'd be like, wow, look at how good you're doing at riding horses. And then I'll have confidence. But in the beginning, I don't need confidence. I need courage.
Agreed. Yeah. 100%.
So
yeah.
I want you to commit. Promise me you're going to commit.
Absolutely. 100%. Because I really love this framework. I think it is it's golden.
Treat it like you love it.
It's just getting good at it and repetition. And I've got a couple friends lined up to do some, mock sessions with later this week as well. So it's coming. It's just a matter of then kind of how to integrate that with the equine aspect of the program too. And I think that's, part of me knows, I guess, that's going to come fairly naturally, whether it's, sitting for a half an hour before we work with the horses to explore whatever is bringing the person to my ranch, or, even if I think it's going to have a place also when I'm actually standing with the horses and with the clients, because these questions are powerful. It's great.
That's 100% true. And think about it, Karen. Have you ever been on a horse when something unpredictable happened?
All the time, yes.
But because of your experience, you manage those moments. Mm-hmm. Well, the same thing is true. The more experience you have in the solution-focused world, the more you'll be able to manage those moments. And you'll notice your creativity taking place when you're like with a client. You'll be like, or with a horse, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I now see how I can apply solution-focused
Mhm.
to this equine experience in a way that I didn't see it 6 months ago.
Right. Right.
But you have to
Agreed.
commit.
I
I've got
will.
to
Percent.
fully committed. I'm going to give this every bit of energy that I gave nursing. I'm going to give this every bit of energy that I gave horse riding. I'm going to give this every bit of energy that I've got so that I can become very good at this.
You have my commitment for sure. Because I,
Love
again,
it. Okay.
I really do. I love this. This framework is just, it's beautiful.
Excellent. All right. What was your second question?
My second question is maybe helping to narrow down my avatar or my niche a little bit.
Mm, okay. Well, just to test you, why
Hmm.
is having a narrowed down avatar or niche important?
Because if you're not speaking to someone directly, you're speaking to no one.
That is 100% true. High five, Karen. But because there are going to be people listening and watching this, and I want them to know what is an avatar and why is it important? It's important because an avatar is who you're directing your marketing message to. And too many people that run businesses, in your case, Karen, a practice, they try to catch everybody. And if you write your marketing messages to everybody, then you end up resonating with nobody.
Right.
So, who is your current avatar?
My current avatar is nurses, first responders, law enforcement, um, and again, people that are in that high stress occupation.
Yeah.
And I'll stop there because what I find too is that I see a lot of just I end up just by default people gravitate toward me who are kind of in that stuck phase. A lot of people my age, usually women my age, who are kind of in that stuck phase that are wanting to explore their purpose in life and are feeling just lost. So they want some direction. That naturally just pops up often in my practice, and I love it. But I was looking at, and my heart goes out to, again, this nurse first responder cohort, because I've been there. I've been a nurse who was burned out in the ER. Believe it or not, I was also a firefighter and a police officer in my earlier days.
Holy cow.
So I definitely know that world. And the other day I was actually listening to your heart work seminar, and I was looking at how to get that lead magnet in. And I know that I can offer this cohort a space to, I guess, decompress and find their way through either anxiety, burnout, balance. Everyone's going to be a little different. But what I found is that when I started looking of for things that I could kind of present as a lead magnet or as content, if I'm going to start doing videos or newsletters or something, I kind of felt like I fell very short on that, on very specifics. So it made me question, is that the right niche for me? And if so, what's the best way to move forward?
Gotcha. So, to be honest with you, Karen, I think those niches are perfectly fine. Like, I don't know that you need to narrow them. I think
Okay.
you need to start talking to them more consistently.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you need to
And
start showing up on social media, newsletter, build an email list. You need to start talking to first responders. You need to start talking to women your age that feel stuck. You need to start speaking to them very consistently.
yeah, and I actually this morning was going through my Facebook feed and the groups that I belong to, and I realized it was very blatant that I belong to a lot of nurse and a lot of horse forums and Facebook pages, and maybe like two first responder and law enforcement pages. So that's going to change. And then it's just, I guess, a matter of coming up with content that speaks to them directly. I like to focus around the concept of resilience, um, but that may be also a little too broad.
No, that's not broad. Speak speak to the concept of resilience as it relates to women your age who are stuck. or as it relates to first responders, or as it relates to nurses. That's not broad at all. Just so, for example, if I were to say, if I were to put on social media, here are 3 important lessons about resilience. I'm not speaking to anyone. But if I were
Correct.
to say, if I were to say, if you own a horse, here are the 3 things you need to know about resilience. Now I'm talking specifically to Karen because I added the caveat, if you own a horse, right? Or I could say, so I'm 48 years old. So if I can say, if you're in your late 40s and really struggling, let me tell you 3 things about resilience that will change your life. Now I'm talking specifically to an audience. I'm talking specifically to someone who's in their late 40s, XYZ, right? So the topic itself is not too broad. I just need you to aim that topic at a particular group and or person.
Is there anything wrong with maybe kind of playing with those 2 groups? Obviously in different messages, but is there anything wrong with playing with those 2 groups? And there's a 3rd group that kind of comes to mind that I think would be super benefited by coming out here and doing some equine assisted coaching. Is there anything wrong with trying to focus on 3 different groups as long as I'm keeping them in their own
No,
field? Okay.
no, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And also, Karen, I want you to be okay with being bad at it for a while. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
am. I've created a couple of videos that I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to look at that later and cringe, but something's better
yeah,
than nothing.
like the most important, and I tell people this all the time. I publish a video every single week. It's called SFBT Moments. And these days my organization publishes lots of videos. I publish them, my team members publish videos, like, and we're always, trying to make sure people have everything they need to do solution focused fruit therapy well. But my original video series, which we still publish every week, I think we're up to like 480 episodes, something like that. The first video is one of the worst videos on the internet. It's horrible. I am backlit. I'm in a gym. There's noise in the background, like it's terrible. But video 1, the job of video 1 is to put you in a position to do video 2. Right? I would have never got to video 2 if I didn't do video 1. And by like video 100, I was doing pretty good. And by video 2, you know what I mean? Like, so you have to do these things in order to earn the right to do the next video. So you're probably not going to get a whole lot of traction in those early videos. You're probably not going to get the lighting right or the sound right in those early videos, but keep making videos, keep making content.
Yeah. I'm up to number 5 on my short videos.
Love it. How often do you publish them?
I'm trying to do them every Friday.
Okay.
And I think what's lacking right now in them is that, again, they're very general about resilience. And I need to start focusing down on a niche or an avatar on those videos. But in my defense, it truly was just getting used to doing a video.
Right.
So, yeah, they're not pretty, but they're out there, and each one gets a little better. And I start toying with different things, different voiceover versus seeing me directly, things like that. So
Absolutely. Yes. Toy around. Just do it every single weekend or every single Friday, like you were saying, because consistency matters. And make sure you're talking to a specific avatar. Like, if you own a horse, this message is for you. And then talk about resilience. Or
right.
if you've ever worked as a first responder, whether that's a nurse, a police officer, a fire department person, ran an ambulance, I cannot wait to share with you what's in this video. And then talk about resilience.
Yeah,
'Cause
I love it.
Then they know you're talking to them.
Yeah, I love it. That's where I think that's the next step.
Yeah. And people will pay attention. And we all do that. That's just how, if I'm scrolling and I see a video that says, if you're looking to get in shape over 40, I'm like, ooh, because I am looking to get in shape over 40. So I pay attention to what that content is more than I would otherwise.
Sure, for sure. All right. And then eventually I'll get into the tech aspect of how to embed this into my website and all that. But I know that's a whole nother, that's just a whole nother world.
That's a whole nother world. And by the way, we live in an AI society where like that's happening very differently these days.
Yeah. Yeah. And truly, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think that practicing SFBT is, if I can do my practicing SFBT and doing and just showing up on social media, I got my plate full right now.
Yeah. Just consistency, consistency, consistency. And I think I loved your answer when I said, how often do you ride horses? You're like, as long as the weather's good, about twice a week. The reason you're good with horses is because you're very consistent and you probably have been doing that for years.
Yeah. Oh, and there have been many times when I was learning to ride horses, I was riding 5 days a week, not twice a week.
See, like
This
that.
is maintaining now.
So Karen, turn up the intensity.
Yes, sir.
Turn up the intensity. That's how you
Uh,
master a
you
skill.
got it. You got it. And then how do I get good feedback?
Wow, that's a good question too. Surrounding yourself with colleagues. That's actually why we've built the communities that we've built. So I can share information with you about those things if you'd like. Getting good feedback is a really important part of mastery. And I also had that same challenge. So the better I got at solution focused brief therapy like 20 years ago, I was like, I want to make this easier for other people to learn. So I'm going to build a community where everybody can stay in contact, practice with one another, and give one another positive feedback.
How do I do that?
A, I guess you can join one of our communities. Or B, get with colleagues around you and say, I'm trying to get really good at solution focus. Can we meet once a week and talk about this? And by the way, here's a book you should read. And you know, like build a community around yourself so that you can keep practicing and get feedback from someone around you.
What would be the best community within your world, within SFU or what have you, for someone, a novice like me to join and still get that feedback?
The certification, probably.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I've got several packages that you had been offering a year or two ago, but I haven't jumped into the certification yet. Only because I know right now my time is kind of scattered, and when I do jump into that, I want to be able to focus and, like you said, turn up the intensity just on
But
that.
what if
Coming.
this helped you focus on mastering that skill?
It's time. It's time.
Because I can send you that link if you want it.
Sure, absolutely.
It's so critically important.
Yeah.
And it's funny. One of the things I want everybody who's listening to this to understand: everyone is great at something, and most people don't apply the formula to what they're great at to other things. Like Karen, you're a great horse rider. Apply that formula on how you got great at horse riding to any other thing you want to get good at.
Yeah.
If you told me that I want to get good at writing poetry, I would say find a poets group. I would say write poetry every single day. I would say publish your poetry to the world, even if you think it's gross and not good, and get feedback, because you're going to get better and better and better over time. That's the rule of mastery. So we built a community for people like you to master things. Like that's to master solution focused brief therapy, to be specific. And I'm obsessed about it. Like I really want everybody
As well you should be.
Yeah, I am. It's been the center point of my life since like 2005. Because I'm obsessed with human beings healing. And this is the
Yeah.
best methodology I can think of to accomplish healing.
So to parallel that to my world, then I want to become obsessed with putting together that equine component and the SFBT component and mastering and creating a world that also helps people heal.
I love that. And you know, Karen, when I got started, no one was really spearheading solution focused brief therapy, in particularly with couples. And I loved working with couples, but I had the same thought you, like, how do I take solution focused brief therapy and couples work and kind of blend them together? And there was a woman named Michelle Weiner Davis, who had written a lot of books about solution-focused brief therapy with couples, but she was writing to the actual couples. But I was like, no. As a clinician, how do I master this thing? And it turned out it was me who ended up writing the book about it. It was me who ended up answering that question. So as you're talking, I'm like, wow, what if, 2 years from now, there's a book written by Karen Marley that says it's called Solution Focused Equine Therapy. I will come to Florida to learn from you, because you might be the person that needs to connect that dot for the rest of the world. But in order to do that, you got to connect the dot for yourself.
Right. Yeah. And I think there's going to be a huge place for like solution focused nurse coaching too. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I appreciate all that you've brought to our community, to the therapy community, to us as individuals too. We've all, I think, taken a great deal from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you took something from me today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Lovely.
It was a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem. It was a pleasure to meet with you. If you'd like to participate in the Therapy Checkup Show and receive free coaching for your mental health practice, email helen@elliottconnie.com for more information. I want to help you to become a better clinician so that you can help more clients achieve a better life.